Hello, welcome to the start of a little tournament of mine. So this is the 1940s teacher tournament. So this is a tournament I will be doing in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where I asked 4 of my teachers to design warships for 2 of the nations in the game. I took care of the other 2, and we, yeah, we're gonna have a little tournament here. So this is the bracket. So let's actually go over this. This is the document that I have. So teachers involved are Mr. McEwen, we have Dr. G, Mr. Wong, Mr. Hale, and myself. The nations that are involved are all 10 nations in the game. Mr. Hale taking France and the United States. Mr. McEwen taking the UK and Germany. Dr. G taking Italy and Japan. Myself taking Russia and China. And Mr. Wong taking Spain and Austria-Hungary. So the rules are as followed. Each teacher gets 2 warships representing all 10 nations in the game. Teachers are put into a bracket with random seeding, which I've done here. The game has no AI fighting option, so I will be controlling the lower seed. So let's take this fight for example. While this is my ship, I have to control the 9 seed because it's the lower seed. Giving each, this tournament is single elimination, giving each equal chances for everyone. A teacher is officially eliminated when both ships are destroyed. The play-in rounds, these 2 play-in rounds will be fought first. Then it will be this round, this round, this round, and we will have our champion by the end of that. Each fight will be put out in its own video, while the rounds will be weekly. The fights will be individual. And special rule for this: a teacher is allowed to contest the results 1 time across their 2 ships. They must have a valid reason for the challenge, where it will be reviewed upon by an outside judge, and the case will be called. If the results are successfully challenged, the fight will happen again. If a challenge does come up, it will be its own separate video where me and the outside judge will talk about it and go through the footage. So, let's go. So I gave each teacher some questions here for them to answer. Different, design aspects of the game. Let's go, actually, to the tournament. So the play-in games are Mr. Wong as Austria-Hungary, playing myself as China. And the next playing game is Mr. Wong as Spain, fighting Mr. Hale as the United States. The winner of Mr. Wong and myself will play Mr. McEwen and Germany. Mr. McEwen as the UK will also fight me as Russia in the following round. Mr. Hale as France will face Dr. G and Japan, and the winner of Mr. Wong and Mr. Hale play and fight will play Dr. G as Italy. So we're going to take a look at all 10 ships designed. We're going to go through them, some of their characteristics, and we will be back once we are there. Alright, we are on the custom battle screen, just so I could show these warships easier for each teacher. We're going to start with Mr. Hale. So this is Mr. Hale's design. This is the USS Spider. So the Spider is 67,640 tons. Which is a top speed of 27 knots, a range of 13,677 kilometers, standard bulkheads, beam of 0, and a draft of 10. If you hear noises, please excuse the noises. She has 2 dual barrel 9-inch guns. She has 2 dual barrel 8-inch guns, 2 dual barrel 2-inch guns, and 4 total deck torpedo tubes right there. She has oil 2, forced boilers, geared turbines, double geared turbines. She has an auxiliary engine 2, shaft 2, balanced rudder, and electro-hydro steering gear 2 as well. She has modern 2 armor, anti-flash protection 2. She has an anti-torp protection of 2. She has double hull, citadel 5, anti-flood 2, and reinforced bulkhead 2. It's max AP shells, max HE shells, max HE shells for the main and secondary guns. The HE shells are incendiary. The AP shells are capped ballistic 2. The shells are super heavy, and it's actually reduced ammo for this one. 2 powder 2 is the propellant, and picric acid 3 as the bursting charge. It's electro hydro 2 for the turret rotation and standard reloading. As it has torps, it's 22-inch torps, oxygen propulsion, and increased torpedo ammo. It has a stereoscopic rangefinder 2, sonar 2, advanced radio, and generation 2 radar. Her armor is pretty light, a 10-inch main belt, a 10-inch forebelt, a 12-inch aft belt, a 15-inch main deck, 15-inch foredeck, 17-inch aft deck, 16-inch conning tower, and a 12-inch superstructure. So this is a massive warship with small amount of guns, but she's quick and she's armored. So it's going to be... This ship is more of a dueler, meant to take the hits, not necessarily have a maximum punch, but at least, small, hit quick, and go. So it'll be interesting to see how the Spider performs. If we go over to the next ship that Mr. Hale designed, it is the French. So his nation is the French, and this is his other ship. This is the Leviathan. She's 109,407 tons. She has a top speed of 22 knots, a range of 17,549 kilometers, maximum bulkheads, 10.5-inch beam, and a 17.5-inch draft. She has 2 triple-barrel 16-inch guns and 2 dual-barrel 16-inch guns, so 4 16-inch turrets. She has 2 4-barreled 6-inch guns and 6 4-barreled 5-inch guns. Yes. Sorry, I had to look at that. There. Where are they, actually? I don't even know where they are, actually. Yeah. Oh, they're there. So I don't actually know where they... Oh, no. 2 4-inch. Nope. And 10 torpedo tubes per side. So there we go. She's powered by oil 3 and gas turbines, so no boilers needed. She has an auxiliary engine 3, shaft 3, semi-balanced rudder, and electro-hydro 2 steering. Modern 2 armor, barbette 5, anti-flash armor 5. She has an anti-torpedo belt of 5 and a triple hull, reinforced bulkhead 2, anti-flood 3, and citadel 5. She has max HE for main and secondary shells. Capped ballistic HE shells, capped ballistic 2 AP shells. They're super heavy. The ammo is increased. Triple base propellant and picric acid 3 bursting charge. The turret rotation is electro hydro, and the reloading is auto 2. She does have torps. They're 23-inch torpedoes with oxygen propulsion and increased torpedo ammunition. She has stereoscopic rangefinder 5, sonar 3 acoustics, RDF radio, and generation 3 radar. Her armor is also tough. She has 20-inch main belt, forebelt, aft belt, main deck, foredeck, aft deck, and superstructure with an 18.8-inch conning tower. So this ship is armored to the maximum. She has super, super thick armor, and this ship will be able to take the hits. And she's also kind of a stable platform. Her engine efficiency is not good, but as long as you really stay above 60%, you should be fine to get up into your acceleration. I believe, what is her actual acceleration? Time is 0.4 knots per second. So, I mean, she takes a little bit to get going, but once she does, she can maintain 22 knots. She's built tough, and she has some pretty hefty 16-inch guns. So those are Mr. Hale's ships, the USS Spider and the Leviathan. We will now move on to Mr. McEwen's. Right, we're on to Mr. McEwen. as Germany and the United Kingdom. We'll start with the Germans. So this is the Hans Gruber 1940 variant. I was trying to keep to his design specifications, so I made a 1950 variant which matched more. However, and I let him pick which one. He wanted the 1940 one. He liked this version of the ship better. Alternate name for the Hans Gruber is the Hans Gruber GPT, as he used ChatGPT to design the ship. Of course he did. Alright, this has a top speed of 27 knots, a maximum range 14,560 kilometers, the maximum bulkheads 12% beam, and a 18.5% draft. She has 4 dual barrel 18-inch guns, 6 triple barrel 6-inch guns, and 4 triple barrel 5-inch guns, and no torpedoes. She has 2 funnels as well, which attributes to her 160% engine efficiency. She's propelled by oil 3, forced boilers, double geared turbines, auxiliary 5 engine, shaft 4 propeller shaft, balanced rudder, and electro hydro 2 steering. Her protection is modern 2 armor, anti flash fire 5, anti torpedo belt 1, triple hull, reinforced bulkheads 2, anti flood 3, and citadel 5. Her armament, it's a little change from Mr. Hale. So we have max armor-piercing main shells and max HE secondary shells. The secondary shell type is high capacity with Cat Ballistic 2 as the AP shells. Shell size is heavy with an increased ammunition, Cordite 3 propellant, and Picric Acid 3 bursting charge. Electrohydro 2 turret rotation and Auto 2 reloading. There's no torpedoes, so we don't have to worry about those stats. She has a stereoscopic rangefinder 5, sonar 3 acoustics, RDF radio, and a generation 3 radar. Her armor is 18 inches across all of it. So that's main belt, forebelt, aft belt, main deck, foredeck, aft deck, conning tower, and superstructure, all 18 inch. This thing has massive guns, has a massive secondary armament, and is really, really fast and really, really armored. This is the pinnacle of German ship design. So this is probably, there's no wonder that this ship, even though it was random, is the #1 seed in the tournament. She's also 111,780 tons big. She does have a slight port weight offset, which is weird. I don't know why that is. Oh, I see it. Right. So we move that over. There we go. Now she does not have a port weight offset. She might for the actual tournament if I don't catch it, but we'll see how that goes. So that is the Hans Gruber GPT, or the Hans Gruber, depending on where you want to call it. We'll go over to the British now, and the British design of Mr. McEwen, where he designed this little ship. So this ship, once it loads, we will talk more about it. This is the HMS Butterworth, a 68,565 ton warship. She's 27 knots fast, maximum range of 10,405 kilometers, standard bulkheads, 5% beam, and a 7% draft. She has 4 triple barrel 14-inch guns, 4 dual barrel 8-inch guns, 6 quadruple barrel 4-inch guns, and 2 torpedo tubes. She's propelled by oil 2 natural boilers, geared turbines, auxiliary engine 2, shaft 3 propeller, balanced rudder, and hydraulic steering. Her protection is modern 2 armor, barbette 3, or anti-flash fire 3 protection, anti-torpedo belt 4, double hull, reinforced bulkhead 1, anti-flood 2, and citadel 4. Her armament is, again, stepping away. It's increased AP across the main and secondary shells, high capacity as the HE shell type, and standard armor-piercing shells. The shell size is the standard amount, which is the standard size, and the standard amount of shell ammunition. The propellant is tube powder 2, and the bursting charge is TNT 2. Electrohydro 1 turret rotation and enhanced reloading. She does have torpedoes, and they're 20-inch torpedoes, oxygen propelled with reduced torpedo ammo. She has a rangefinder, stereoscopic 4. She has sonar 2 acoustics, and advanced radio, and generation 3 radar. Her armor does have a little bit of variation, so she has a 13.4 inch main belt, a 9-inch forebelt, an 8.6-inch aft belt, a 12-inch main deck, a 6.6-inch foredeck, a 6.2-inch aft deck, 12.6-inch conning tower, and a 4.5-inch superstructure. So, pretty okay, and a pretty average, little British ship. She's smaller in size, but she is quick, and she does have 14-inch guns. She has 12 14-inch guns, so she's powerful and quick. Her smaller size will be harder for her enemies to target her, so she can zip around and kind of avoid getting hit temporarily. Will she get hit eventually? Obviously, but she can at least delay that a little bit with her speed and small size. Now that is Mr. Hale, Mr. McEwen, we're going to head over to Dr. G. And welcome to Dr. G's design. We're going to start with the Italian Empire with the Della Francesca. She's 83,201 tons. She has a speed of 25 knots. Her range is 34,079 kilometers. She has many bulkheads, 8% beam, and a 15% draft. Her armament is 4 triple-barreled 16-inch guns, 3 quadruple-barrel 8-inch guns, 2 quadruple-barrel 6-inch guns, and a total of 2 torpedo tubes in the at the stern. She has 2 funnels as well. Her propulsion is oil 3 and diesel 2 engine, excluding the need for boilers. Auxiliary 3 engine, a shaft 4 propeller, balanced rudder, and hydraulic steering. Her protection is modern 2 armor, anti-flash fire protection 5, anti-torpedo protection 5, double hull, reinforced bulkhead 1, anti-flood 3, and citadel 5. The armament is back to the maximum high explosive shells with incendiary HE shells and capped AP shells. The shell size is standard, but the ammo is increased with tube powder 2 as the propellant and picric acid 3 as the bursting charge. The turret rotation is electro hydro 2 and the reloading is enhanced. She does have torpedo tubes, and it's 20-inch torpedoes that are fast propulsion and increased ammunition. Her equipment is, she has a stereoscopic 4 rangefinder, a sonar 3 acoustic, an advanced radio, and a generation 2 radar. Her armor is a 12-inch main belt and a 12-inch fore and aft belt, a 16-inch main deck, 19-inch foredeck, and a 16-inch aft deck, 15-inch conning tower, and a 16-inch superstructure. So she's armored, and she has a bunch of protection with some heavy 16-inch guns. She's, again, on the smaller side, which will allow her to not be targeted as much. She also has greater fuel, so she can last longer fuel-wise if the fight drags on. And I think that the Della Francesca can get the fight to drag on with how armored she is and her armament, or she might just end the fight quickly with her armament. So that is the Della Francesca. We are now going to move on to Japan, and that is the second nation that Dr. G has designed a ship for, and it is right here. Once it loads, we will talk about this ship, and this is the Ohito. She's 106,308 tons. She's 27 knots fast, a range of 26,876 kilometers, many bulkheads, 10% beam, and a 12% draft. Her armament is 3 triple-barrel 18-inch guns, 6 dual-barrel 6-inch guns, 12 dual-barrel 5-inch guns, and 10 deck torpedo tubes with 2 funnels. And the hull is actually the Yamato hull in the game, and it's 18-inch guns, just like the Yamato, although Yamato had, I think it's 18.1-inch guns. This is 18-inch guns. She's propelled by oil 3, forced boilers, double-geared turbines, auxiliary 4 engine, a shaft 4 propeller, a balanced rudder, and electro hydro 2 steering. Her protection is Krupp Armor 5, Anti-Flash Fire Protection 5, Anti-Torpedo Belt 4, Double Hull, Reinforced Bulkhead 2, Anti-Flood 3, and a Citadel 5. Her armament is maximum AP shells for the main guns, increased HE shells for the secondary guns. The HE shells are high capacity. The armor-piercing rounds are capped ballistic too. Shell size is super heavy with increased ammo, Cordite 3 propellant, and picric acid bursting charge. Electrohydra 2 turret rotation with enhanced reloading. She does have 10 deck torpedo tubes, 23 inches, oxygen propelled with increased ammunition. Her equipment is stereoscopic rangefinder 5, Hydro 3 acoustics, advanced radio, and generation 3 radar. Her armor is 17.6-inch main belt, 12-inch fore and aft belt, 10-inch main deck, a 8-inch fore and aft deck, 16-inch conning tower, and a 6-inch superstructure. So she's pretty well armed. This ship's main focus is armament. So with those 18-inch guns, those are, I think, the biggest that we have looked at so far. So she's going to be able to duke it out with her armament, with her armor, take some hits, and meanwhile return the punishment with her 9 18-inch guns. So a very, very powerful ship, the Japanese and the Ohito. So now we're going to go over to the ships that I designed. So we'll go over there. Right. After the 4 teachers picked which nations they would want to do, there were 2 nations left, and I thought that I would design them myself, although I also put it in an AI to kind of balance the odds, as I know how to design ships. I, used an AI to help balance the scale. So this is the Soviet Union ship Admiral Nikimov, 100,769 tons. She's 26 knots fast, a range of 11,277 kilometers, maximum bulkhead, 6-inch beam, and an 8-inch draft. Her armament is 3 triple barrel 16.9-inch guns, 6 dual barrel 6.9-inch guns, 20 dual barrel 4.9-inch guns, and 4 deck torpedo tubes. Her propulsion is oil 3, balanced boilers, and double geared turbines, with an auxiliary 3 engine, shaft 4 propeller, balanced rudder, and electrohydro 2 steering. Her protection is Krupp 5 armor, anti-flash fire 4 protection, anti-torp 3 with a double hull, reinforced 2 bulkheads, anti-flood 3, and a Citadel 5. Her armament is maximum armor piercing for the main shells, increased high explosive for the secondary shells. The HE shells are high capacity, and the AP shells are capped ballistic. The shell size is heavy with increased ammunition, Cordite 3 propellant, and TNT 4 bursting charge. The turrets are electrical 2 powered rotation with auto 1 loading. I do have torpedoes. They are 21-inch torpedoes, fast propulsion with increased torpedo ammunition. Rangefinder is Coincidence 3. The acoustics is Hydro 3. I have an advanced radio and a Generation 2 radar. The armor is an 18-inch main belt, 12-inch fore and aft belt, 7-inch main deck, 6-inch fore and aft deck, 14-inch conning tower, and a 4-inch superstructure. So this is a HE spammer with the amount of secondary guns that this thing has. 20 4.9-inch, basically 5-inch guns, and 6 basically 7-inch guns with basically 17-inch main armament that can also rain down. Her armor is a little lacking, but what she trades for in armor is speed. She's 26 knots, one of the fastest ships there, and she's large as well, which will make her easy to target, but I think the amount of secondary armament that she has will be the Admiral Nikimov saving grace in this tournament. So she is a ship to be feared. The second ship that I designed was for the nation of China. So this ship right here, once it loads, we'll talk a little bit more in depth about her, is the, and excuse my pronunciation, I do not speak Chinese, nor do I pronounce it well, the Zhong Cheng, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. She's 61,685 tons, 24 knots fast, a range of 12,993 kilometers, maximum bulkheads, 2% beam, and a negative 5% draft. Her armament is 3 triple-barreled 14.9-inch guns, 7 dual-barrel 6.9-inch guns, and 6 dual-barrel 4.9-inch guns. She is propelled by, once it scrolls, there we go, propelled by Oil 2 forced boilers, double geared turbines, auxiliary 2 engine, a propeller shaft 4, semi-balanced rudder, and electro hydro 1 steering. Her protection is Krupp 4 armor, Barbette 3 protection, or the anti-flash fire. She has a torpedo belt 2, a double hull, standard bulkhead protection, anti-flood 2, and a citadel 4. She has increased armor piercing for the main shells, for the main guns, and for the secondary guns, increased HE. She has high capacity, high explosive shells with capped ballistic 2 armor piercing shells. The shells are standard size and standard ammunition, with tube powder 2 propellant and TNT 3 bursting charge. The turret's rotation is electrical 1, and the reloading is standard. The equipment on this ship is Coincidence 4 rangefinder, Sonar 1 acoustics, advanced radio, and a Generation 1 radar. The armor is a 14-inch main belt with a 9-inch fore and aft belt, 6-inch main deck with a 5-inch fore and aft deck, 12-inch conning tower, and a 3-inch super structure. So she's pretty well armed with 15-inch guns. She's small and quick, which is pretty much her main advantage. She's not really armored, and she doesn't have, the scariest armament, but she's kind of quick, and she's small. I think she is the smallest ship at basically 62,000 tons. But, this is what the AI told me to design, so this is the ship that will be for China. Finally, we have one more teacher, and it is Mr. Wong, and we'll get to him right now. And finally, the last teacher is Mr. Wong, who chose the nation of Austria-Hungary and Spain. So we'll start with Austria-Hungary, which technically didn't exist in the year 1940, but in this tournament, they do. So this is the Austria-Hungary fictional, well, obviously it's all fictional, but the 1940s era Austria-Hungarian ship Von Boost, which is 79,896 tons. She's 24 knots fast, a range of 16,159 kilometers, many bulkheads, 8% beam, and a 18.5% draft. Her armament is 3 dual-barrel 18-inch guns, 2 dual-barrel 8-inch guns, and 2 dual-barrel 4-inch guns. She's propelled by semi-oil, forced boilers, turbo-electric engines, auxiliary 3 engine, shaft 3 propellers, a balanced rudder, and electro hydro 1 steering. Her protection is Krupp 5 armor, Barbette 4 anti-flash fire 4 protection, and a torpedo belt 4 with that as well, and a double hull. Standard bulkhead protection, anti-flood 2, and citadel 4. Her armament is maximum armor piercing for the main shells, increased high explosive for the secondary shells. The HE shells are nose fused, while the AP shells are capped. The shell size is heavy, and the shell ammo is, the standard, with 2 powder 3 propellant and a Dunite bursting charge. The turret rotation is electro hydro 2, and the reloading is semi-auto. The rangefinder is a Coincidence 3. The acoustics are Hydro 3, with an advanced radio and a Generation 1 radar. The armor is 16-inch main belt, 14-inch fore and aft belt, a 10-inch main deck, a 6-inch fore and aft deck, a 12-inch conning tower, and a 10-inch super structure. So, a pretty nasty ship, to be honest, with, she's well armored and well protected. and hosting basically, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 18-inch guns. And she has 3 funnels. She has 391% engine efficiency. So she can get up to the main speed of 24 knots. What even is it? It's the 2.6 knots per second. So she's going to be there in, 12 seconds? She's going to be at full speed? It's insane. Like, insane. And she has a massive armament with the 18-inch guns. So she's going to be a tough ship to beat regardless. And now we'll go over to the final nation to go over in this tournament, the Spanish, also designed by Mr. Wong. And there she is. This is the Alvaro de Bazan, 52,970 tons. She's 22 knots fast, a range of 11,713 kilometers, many bulkheads, 5% beam, and a 12% draft. Her armament is 2 dual-barrel 15-inch guns, 2 dual-barrel 6-inch guns, 2 dual-barrel 4-inch guns, and a total of 2 deck torpedo tubes. She is propelled by oil-free, balanced boilers, double-geared turbines, auxiliary 2 engine, propeller shaft 2, balanced rudder, and electro-hydro 2 steering. Her protection is modern 2 armor, Barbette 4 protection, or the anti-flash fire protection 4. She has a anti-torpedo belt of 3, double hull, reinforced 1 bulkheads, anti-flood 1, and a Citadel 3. Her armament is increased armor piercing for the main guns, and for the secondary guns, maximum high explosive. The HE shells are high capacity, and the AP shells are capped ballistic. Standard shell size, but increased ammunition with Cordite 3 propellant and a TNT 2 bursting charge. Electro Hydro 1 turret rotation with enhanced reloading. She does have torpedoes. They are 18-inch torpedoes, oxygen propelled with reduced torpedo ammunition. Stereoscopic 4 rangefinder, sonar 2 acoustics, RDF radio, and a Generation 2 radar. The armor is as followed: a 14-inch main belt, 12-inch fore and aft belt, 8-inch main deck, 6-inch fore and aft deck, 10-inch conning tower, and a 6-inch superstructure. So she's pretty moderately armored. She's is now, as I look at it, the smallest ship at basically 53,000 tons, which will help her. She has an engine efficiency of 609%. So let's look at her acceleration. Actually, her acceleration is 2 knots per second. So she will get to max speed in 11 seconds. So insane. Her armament is pretty light, but she does have a lot of shells for it. And 15-inch guns are not to be reckoned with. They can be scary. So that is all of the ships that are participating in the tournament, and all the nations and all the teachers that are participating in said tournament. I am excited to see who wins this. It's going to be very interesting. So the first week, which is actually this following week, will be it will be Mr. Wong with the Von Bust of Austria-Hungary facing me with the Zhongcheng Chen of China. And also this week it will be the Alvaro de Bazan of Spain and Mr. Wong facing the Spider of the US and Mr. Hale. Then the winners will advance, and the next week, the next round will start. The following week, it'll be the winners of that. Then it will be the championship the next week, and the final. The teachers are voting on what the prize will be, and there will be a separate video on that after this tournament is done. So I hope you guys follow along on this tournament and cheer on your favorite nation, your favorite design, and which teacher do you think is going to win? Put that down in the comments below, and we will see you guys for the first fight, which is the Von Bust and the Zhongcheng. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.